that space and expand into something other than just the mundane, and some people aren't. And we got to just tap into that. But when you said that, it was very interesting because you talked about the electromagnetic charge and the divine spark that is in somebody. So can you tell us a little bit about more of the slavery mindset that we're stuck in because we're some of us aren't willing to just awaken and wake up and see the truth, or pull the put the take the glasses off, and what the electromagnetic charge really means to you, and how we can tap into that charge, and then remember our divine spark, because the divine spark is has been diminished and the electromagnetic charge is not there anymore. So we're kind of walking around like zombies. So can you explain that to us a little bit, just so people can understand, so we can break ourselves from this mental slavery, and then tell us what supplements you have to actually help. And it could be the one you already spoke about, but if there's anything else, so people can understand what they need to do to get that electromagnetic charge back, and then tap into that divine spark.
Well, yeah, great question. I really love the question in the conversation and the topic because there's a lot that goes into who we are. Um, a lot of people still don't even believe we're something beyond the flesh. That's a part of that slavery energy because when you're not connected to your essence, then you don't know the power of it. There's more power in your essence than there is in what you consider this gross dense body.
Right.
This is a powerful machine. Don't get me wrong. It is the most powerful supercomputer on the planet, if you ask me. But there's a light within us that comes from the divine that
Right.
we must be able to connect to. And it's also dealing with our connection to source. But this is something you have to want. You have to be willing to be open to, elevating yourself and connecting with source and remembering who you are in order to be able to be seated in the throne of your essence. And that's where your power comes from. Just being seated in your throne of consciousness and remembrance. So beyond that, as long as you're open to remembering that, because there's a lot of things that come with that. When you choose to like really truly step into your power and your authenticity, there's automatically going to be a resistance based on those who've chosen not to. Because we live in a society where the fabric of reality that has been created here is for us to relate on a very mundane, docile, low vibrational level. And a lot of people would rather choose relatability over authenticity. And that's a part of the slavery in itself, because when you choose relatability based on a construct that is a light code lockdown, it's only so far you can elevate. That's when you'll be locked into, what, I have to work this corporate job because I'm not ready to step into alignment with what my soul truly came here to express, which is where my true wealth and abundance lies.
Right.
And
True.
that's still dealing with lurking in darkness versus being in the light,
Right.
right? Now, there's another layer and an aspect of it. I don't want to go too much off the deep end, but I look at a lot of things based on the wisdom of the Kabbalion and the seven cosmic principles, the as above, so below, the as within, so without, the law of gender, polarity, all of these things. So if there's something that I don't understand on the third dimensional level, I'll look at the primordial ancestors
Mm-hmm.
and I'll see how they intertwine and engage one another to understand who I am as a net in nature and reflecting on my biology. Or I'll look on a subatomic level, study the womb, study the microbial, underworld in order to reflect that back on third
Right.
density
Right.
or the etheric world in order to come to certain conclusions.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
what I've realized is that we are not the body. We are the essence operating the body, the soul. That's solar energy, which is masculine. That's dealing with the sun, right?
Right.
That's dealing with Father Ra. And
Mm-hmm.
the body is feminine. That's dealing with the earth, right? And if you look at the primordial forces, the sun is pretty much like giving life to earth by way of the earth being a womb, also being an egg, and the sun being the sperm, the spark.